So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, her breaking the record, I think obviously is a tremendous accomplishment. Although, we could get into that discussion also.
Does Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does.
Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the Clark. Hammer. Drives baseline. And shot rejected by Izzy Magma.
From accusations of favoritism to getting bullied on the court, here's why Caitlin Clark only gets hate from other women. It goes without saying that the first major point to discuss is jealousy and competition. Caitlin Clark's success and the spotlight she has earned play a significant role here. As she rises to become a prominent face of the league, other players might feel overshadowed or underappreciated. This feeling of jealousy isn't just about her talent, but also about the attention and accolades she receives. Caitlin's influence on ticket sales and league policies has been substantial. For example, her presence has led to increased ticket sales of 200%, bringing more attention to women's basketball. Now, while this is positive for the sport, it also creates a lot of envy among other players who feel they've worked just as hard, if not harder, without the same recognition. Imagine being a player who has been in the league for years, consistently performing well, but suddenly you see a rookie getting all the spotlight. It's bound to create some tension. There's also a lot of resentment towards changes that Clark's influence has triggered within the WNBA. Take the improvement in travel accommodations, for instance. The introduction of chartered flights is a significant upgrade, making travel less stressful for the players. However, some players might feel that these benefits are more attributed to Caitlin's impact rather than a collective effort from all players. Is this better for the girls? Of course. But you can't help but notice that this is really all coming off the back of Caitlin and the exposure she's been getting, rather than those who have long advocated for better conditions without seeing results until now. It doesn't just stop there, though. Jealousy and perceived favoritism translates into actions on the court too. Some players use physical aggressiveness as a way to express their frustration or to assert their dominance, and this kind of behavior just shows that some players see physicality as a way to challenge or intimidate a rising star who they are seeing as a threat. One notable incident involves Kennedy Carter, who committed a hard foul on Clark with a hard bump off the ball, which many saw as an expression of frustration or an attempt to intimidate the rising star. This incident was widely discussed and highlighted how physical aggression can be used to send a message on the court. Carter's actions were interpreted as more than just a competitive play, but rather as a statement about how she feels regarding Clark's growing influence in the league. Lynette Woodard, a Kansas Jayhawks legend, sparked controversy with her comments about Clark breaking her all-time scoring record. Woodard initially implied that Clark's record was not as significant as hers, which was seen as a way to downplay Clark's achievements. Although Woodard later clarified her remarks, the initial comments were perceived by many as an attempt to discredit Clark's accomplishments, although Woodard probably only clarified her remarks because of the online hate she was getting. Diana Taurasi, a WNBA veteran, also made headlines by expressing that she would have preferred UConn star Paige Bueckers over Clark if the two had been in the same draft class, downplaying how good Clark really is. Another significant moment was during a game against the Chicago Sky. In a highly anticipated rematch, Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky committed a flagrant one foul on Clark. The foul happened late in the third quarter when Clark was driving toward the basket, and Reese, attempting to block the shot, missed the ball and struck Clark's head instead. This incident sparked immediate controversy and criticism on social media, with some fans calling Reese's action an assault and others arguing it was simply a part of the game. In the WNBA, the approach to aggression and competition differs significantly from the NBA. While aggression towards prominent figures like LeBron James in the NBA is often seen as a challenge or a mark of respect, similar actions toward Caitlin Clark in the WNBA are viewed more negatively. This cultural difference could stem from the different ways male and female athletes are socialized to handle competition. In the NBA, physical confrontations and aggressive plays are sometimes celebrated as part of the game's intensity. However, in the WNBA, such behavior can be perceived as unsportsmanlike, particularly when directed at a player who is rapidly rising like Clark. Now look, LeBron James has recently been becoming more of a sook lately after getting bumped or throwing a tantrum, but typically speaking, the intensity the men play with is accepted. When it comes to the WNBA though, there has been a large spike in the women who are solely coming after Clark. online or in person. Another thing to consider is the impact of Clark's rise on traditional team dynamics and hierarchies within the league. Caitlyn's recent growth to stardom disrupts established norms and hierarchies, causing friction among veteran players who feel their status is threatened. Imagine being a seasoned player who has worked hard to earn respect and establish a place within the team, only to see a newcomer quickly become the center of attention. Veteran players, who have long been the faces of their teams, will feel sidelined or overshadowed by the media's focus solely on Clark. This feeling of being replaced or undervalued is going to foster animosity in them.
So what she's not realizing is that when she doesn't state the obvious, it's automatically going to be assumed that it's something personal, because we know you know the basketball game, the game of basketball too well to ignore the kind of things that she's ignoring when it comes to Caitlin Clark.
The media often plays up narratives of young stars taking over, which, while exciting for fans, can be hard for established players to accept. It's also hard to accept when you see that Caitlyn got a $28 million Nike deal, which is the biggest individual player sponsorship deal in WNBA history. Considering Caitlyn is just a rookie, you can see why other players who have never seen this kind of money are getting pissed off. There's a lot of backlash when it comes to media narratives surrounding her as well too. The media often portrays Clark as a transformative figure in the league, which really rubs it in the face of other players. This portrayal leads other players to feel undervalued and frustrated that no matter how good they might be, they are being overshadowed and undervalued. The media spotlight can sometimes create a skewed image of a single player being responsible for the league's success, which is rarely the case in a team sport. The media's role in this dynamic is crucial. By continuously highlighting Clark's achievements and framing her as the future of the league, they really contribute to the perception that she is being favored and the chosen one, which kinda happens when you come up with a term like the Caitlin Clark effect. This media-driven narrative just leads to more jealousy and fuels more negative comments and attitudes from other players who eventually take it out on her on the court or in press conferences and online. The unique challenges Caitlin Clark faces in the WNBA are deeply rooted in various dynamics. From accusations of favoritism to the disruption of traditional league dynamics, there are several reasons why Caitlin Clark seems to receive negative attention primarily from other women in the league. Jealousy and competition play a significant role. Clark's rapid rise to fame, her influence on ticket sales, and the improvements in league policies attributed to her presence create an environment where other players may feel overshadowed or undervalued. As Clark garners more media attention and sponsorship opportunities, other players might feel that she is being unfairly favored by the league, media, and sponsors. This sense of injustice fuels negative attitudes and comments, as players feel their own contributions are being overlooked. The cultural and competitive dynamics within the WNBA also contribute to the backlash Clark experiences. The different ways aggression and competition are perceived in women's sports compared to men's sports create a unique environment where physicality towards Clark is seen more as hostility than a mark of respect. This difference in perception can lead to more negative interactions on the court. The disruption of traditional dynamics and hierarchies within teams and the league is another crucial factor. Clark's rapid ascent challenges the established order, causing friction among veteran players who feel their status is threatened, which is most likely why Clark was snubbed from the Paris Olympic team. Clark's disruption is clearly fostering resentment and negative feelings as players struggle to maintain their place within the team hierarchy. Media narratives further complicate the situation. By portraying Clark as a transformative figure, the media inadvertently minimizes the contributions of other players, leading to feelings of discontent. The high expectations and intense scrutiny placed on Clark add to the pressure, making her a target for criticism from peers who feel she hasn't yet earned such acclaim. Caitlin Clark's journey in the WNBA is marked by a complex interplay of jealousy, competition, perceived favoritism, disruption of traditional dynamics, and intense scrutiny. These factors contribute to the negative attention she receives from other women in the league. The craziest thing is it's mainly all from other women, though. Most of the men in the NBA and analysts alike are standing up saying how incredible she is. One thing is for sure, women bring drama to our screens, and it makes for great entertainment.